Hello, everybody. It's Power Coach Alishia here. I am just putting on my Thrive patch, and today I am going to do I'm Grateful. Yes, Thrive is amazing. I use it for energy and to curb my appetite and to restore balance in my digestive tract and like so much. Yes. People are always asking me about Thrive, so if you have questions, shoot me a message. Anyways. That's for the replay viewers. Normally, I am off on Fridays, but you know what? When you're doing what you love, it does not feel like work, right? So, hi, Melody. This does not feel like work to me. I absolutely love going live and sharing like my thoughts. And I said something to Daniel, and he's like, that would make a good live. And so I was like, it will. I'm going to go live, and I'm going to talk about it. So let me just get this shared around, and then we are going to do it to it. Yes, indeedy. So we're going to be talking about money mindset. I'm just going to get this link so I can share it over. Oh, my love. We're going to be talking about money mindset. What are you guys doing this Friday? Who else is here? Say hi in the comments. What is up? It's a fabulous Friday. Okay. Now that I clicked on the right thing this time, let's do it. I used to use this program. Oh, this is really close to me today, so it's cutting off my head. I used to use this program called Live Leap, which was pretty cool. I just figured people could wait like a couple of minutes at the beginning so you can share it over and not have to pay for it. Like all the little things that you pay for to run your business, the tools, they really add up. So sometimes it's like, let's decide what the most important tools are and use those and then just do the other shit, you know, yourself. All right, one more place to share and then I am good to go. Where is it? There it is. Okay. No matter how many people show up, this is my topic today. All right, last place to share. And then I'll stop cutting off my head. All right, so for those of you guys that don't know me, I always have my blanket on. I need to put my blanket on. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm Power Coach Alishia, and I am your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational coaching with a twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit love. It's my job and my mission to teach you how to live the life you love, plus build a profit-filled empire, unapologetically authentic. And so today we are talking about your money mindset. All right. So we're talking about your money mindset and how your money view can actually change you. Hi, Chanel. Hey, Sarah. Say hi in the comments. Anybody else who's getting on here, make sure you shout out hi to me in the comments as well. So one of the things that I have really worked on is how I view every cent of money that comes in. Hi, Brittany. And, Brittany, I'll be messaging you today too about angel healing. I forgot about that yesterday. Oh, I didn't forget. I just decided to stop working. That's what it was. It's how I viewed every penny that comes in of money. And so I was just talking to Daniel and I was talking to him about how right now we're saving for, or we're doing our best to make enough money to go on a trip to California. And the truth is, this trip has been planned one other time before, but I was really, really sick, and I was on tour for, it was called Rock Stars on the Road, and we were in whatever state, Oregon, and we had to drive all the way back to Florida so I could get to my doctor and figure out what the hell was wrong. Well, our next stop from Oregon was California, then we were going to stop in Texas and see our family, and then we were going to go home. So we went from Oregon to home. Hi, Tessa. And so we didn't get to go to California. Well, this year I was like, we're going to go. I'm going to put it back on. We live so close. We're going to go. Well, a lot of things have shifted. A lot of things have changed. So when it was planned that, you know, California was what we were going to do, you know, at that time I was basically killing myself, selling LuLaRoe, working my freaking ass off. And everything in my life was completely different. The way that I lived every day, the way that I made money every day, the way that everything worked. And so I told him, about a few days ago, well, we're going to have to set a goal and do something in order to have that influx of cash to go to California. And we've been sitting on all of this LuLaRoe, and we know that we're done with it and we're ready to move on. He's opened his splat business, his online canvas painting. He's also does offline parties. We're opening a studio here in the fall. There's all this stuff going on. Plus, with me and my business and what I'm doing here with Power Coach Alishia, the team that I have now. And so there's all of these things going on. So we're like, you know what? Let's liquidate the LuLaRoe and get rid of it, and use that money to go to California. And so that's what we're doing. What's really cool is our goal is $2,000. I don't mind sharing with you our goal and all that good jazz. Our goal is $2,000. And we are almost halfway there. So one way you can look at that is go 700, we are at $715, give or take just a little bit. You could look at the $715 and go, wow, that's really far away from $2,000. Or you could say, well, with $715, let's think, what does that pay for? That pays for the KOA, the gas to get there, and the dog sitter. So now you look at that money, and instead of looking at it like with lack mentality, well, it's still a far cry from our goal, or we're still less than halfway to our goal, or we still don't have enough, you look at it and go, right now we have all the money we need to go to California, right? We've got the animals taken care of, we've got our lodging, and we've got our gas. So now everything else is gravy on top. Basically, that's how you think about it. You say everything else is gravy on top. So now what's left is food and fun. Well, to make enough money for food and fun is relative. The more money you make, the better, the different types of foods you're going to be doing, the more eating out you're going to be doing, right? The more places that you are going to be experiencing. And the less money you make, you're going grocery shopping when you get to California and you're cooking around the fire pit and making memories with your kids. So, the memories are either being made at the location, right, that you're going to, and, where you're eating and the exploring, or the memories are being made back at the KOA at the campground. Either way, we have enough to go. And now it's about the food and fun, right? And so I don't just do this, though, with trips that I want to take. And if you guys remember, back in February when we were going to Florida, it was the same push. So we needed $3,000 to go to Florida because we were going on a cruise and we were going to be in Florida, and we were gone for 18 total days. And so that's how I chunk my goal, chunk to my goal. Hi, Christina. Hey, Jessica. I was hoping Jessica didn't see me on here. Let's see what Chanel said. Yay! That's so awesome, Chanel! So I'm sitting here and I'm like, holy shit, this is so awesome. We have enough money to get to California now. We have enough money for gas, and we have enough money for lodging. We have enough money to pay for our dog sitter. How fucking cool. So then it goes, okay, keep going on the track, right? What? No, I said, I was hoping Jessica wouldn't see me on here because I'm supposed to be off today. Didn't I say that? Maybe I said the rest of that in my head and I didn't finish my sentence. So anyways, I do this with everything though. Hi, Dana. Every single thing, you guys. And so it's not just about the trips and the fun. It's about your life. So let's say that in a month to pay your bills, it's $3,000, right? So you need $3,000 a month to pay your bills. And let's say you're starting to stress out because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I have enough money. And you start to spiral. Stop and go, okay, how much money do I have? Because generally, as a person who stresses about money, you start to think about what you don't have. That's the first thing you do, right? You go straight to what you don't have. And then you go from don't have to crying to overwhelmed to stressed to frustrated. And you usually never come back to the what do I do have spot, right? So you know that you need $3,000 to pay your bills. You know that at the moment you're short. So then you ask yourself, what do I have? And then the next thing that you do is you say, what does that pay? So what do I have? What does it pay? Every single penny that you have pays something. And that's what you have to remember. Every single penny pays something. If you don't have that kind of mentality, that type of money mindset, then that will mean that you think about every single penny that you have, all the money that you have is never enough for anything. So those are like that's the flip. It's either every single penny pays for something, or I never have enough to pay for anything. Okay? So every single penny pays for something. So let's say you have $3,000 that you need to pay for the month, and you have 1,000 of that. You ask yourself, what does it pay? If your rent is $500 or your mortgage is $1,000, you say, I've got enough to pay the mortgage. Boom, done, right? So let's just go with rent being $500 so we can kind of work with the 1,000 in a different way. So you go, all right, so I've got enough to pay the rent. What's next important? Electric bill. Okay, the electric bill's $100, $150. Boom, I've got enough to pay that. What's next important? Well, I run a business, so the internet, let's say, right? And you're like, okay, the internet is another $150. All right, so now I have the $1,000 I have will pay my rent, it will pay my electric, and it will pay my internet bill. And it'll allow me to get some groceries for the week, about $100. Well, for a family of 4, we spend about $120 a week. Let's say you spend $100. So now you're at $900. You have $100 left. What's next? Oh, well, the trash is due, and that's usually $90. Okay, the trash is due, and now you've got $10 left. Maybe you throw that in a tank so you can bum around town, so you've got a little bit of gas. Or maybe you back off the groceries, $20, and now you have $30 to throw gas in your tank. And now the $1,000 that you were looking at like it was a piece of shit because it wasn't enough, now pays your rent, it pays your internet, it pays your electric, it buys you groceries, and it pays for the trash, and it puts gas in your car. Okay? So it's about the shift in how you look at the money that you do have instead of the stress about the lack of the money that you need. So when you're looking at, oh my gosh, it pays so much of my necessities, you can feel a lot better than that. Well, let's say that your story is a little different, because that was, somebody who might have an apartment, maybe the apartment's between, $500 and $700 a month, and you just adjust it that way. But what if you're somebody whose life is a lot heavier, right? On the financial side. So same $3,000, but what happens when your mortgage is $2,000 of that? Hi, Tara. So let's say your mortgage is $2,000 of the $3,000 a month. Okay. So now you look at the same $1,000 that you have, and you have two choices. You could say, I only have $1,000. I don't even have enough to pay my fucking mortgage. Or you can say, I have $1,000, and that pays all my bills for the month. So that pays all my bills for the month. That makes sure that my internet's paid for, my electric's paid for, my trash is paid for, my water's paid for, whatever. You just go down the list, everything that $1,000 paid for, and you're grateful that $1,000 pays for that. And then you go, okay, now it's time to make the money for the mortgage. Or you flip it. You say, I have half of the mortgage. Thankfully, I'm so grateful for that. Now I just focus on the other half of the mortgage. The way my brain works is I pay mortgage first, I pay the other bills second. Because my mortgage is my biggest chunk of my outgo every month. So I focus on getting that money first because I can always nickel and dime all the other stuff. It's very hard to nickel and dime a mortgage payment, especially if your mortgage payment is a couple $1,000s a month, right? So I focus on mortgage first. Then I know, without a doubt, as long as I have mortgage first, I'll always have enough money for the rest of the stuff. However, if I pay the rest of the stuff first, my mind feels like it's going to be a lot harder to get to the $2,000. So I go the opposite direction and say, okay, mortgage first, then everything else, because I know everything else will get paid. Nickel and diming that. You can shift it by 3 days, 4 days, a week, no big deal. And your mortgage in the place you live is not something you want to be shifting around. You want to keep that steady and make sure that it's taken care of, because that causes the most amount of stress when you can't pay for it, right? Or when you haven't paid for it and you don't know what you're going to do. So in my professional opinion, it's number one. Hi, Rebecca. So now you have a whole different appreciation for the money that you do have. And when you shift your focus to looking at what the money you do have pays for, and the fact that it pays for so much, whatever that is, then you go, okay, I've got this. It's a whole different mindset than crying and stressed because I only have 1,500 of the 3,000 I need. I only have 2,000 of the 3,000 I need. It's a completely different mindset of I'm short blank than I have enough to pay for. So focus on what you have enough to pay for and the amount that you're short. Your inner guide, your inner nudge for good will lead you to making the money to make up what you're quote unquote short. If you focus on what you're missing, the lack, it won't come. But if you focus on how much you have and all that you can pay for, it will always work itself out. And people who have a good money mindset, a positive money mindset, they will tell you, I don't know how, but I always have enough money to pay my bills, even when I shouldn't. When you look at the numbers, when you weigh them out, they look like they wouldn't work, but I always have more than enough. I still go grocery shopping. I still get my nails done. I still go out with the kids. I still pay for the kids, sports and their dance and their this and their that. And for some reason, I always have more than enough money. And that's because, number one, that person's always declaring that they always have more than enough money. And what you speak must be so, right? What you speak becomes you. So number one, they're always declaring that. Number two, they're always focusing on having enough money or more than enough money to pay for those things so they don't stop spending. So that brings me to my, third part of this. If you hoard money in fear of loss, you will lose the money. So if you go, oh, I'm not going to get my nails done because I can't afford it. Boom. That money is going to disappear anyways. So the money that you thought you were saving by not getting your nails done, you're telling the universe that you fear, oh, I need to change my calendar. You're telling the universe that you fear that you're not going to have enough, so the universe is like, you won't. Look how cute. Look how freaking cute. It says, take time to smell the poses. I love my biggie calendar. Okay. Back to your regularly scheduled program. So with that, you also have to think about, and this is the thing, my husband is a complete saver. In the mind of, we don't have enough money, he won't spend on stuff. And I've been conditioning him to go, and when I say stuff, I don't mean frivolous shit that isn't necessary. And that's all relative to your opinion, right? Right now, I want to go get a pedicure. And last night I thought about it. I was like, oh, it's $60. I could use that $60 for something else. But now that I'm talking to you, I know why I won't go get a pedicure. It literally has nothing to do with the fact that it's $60. The problem is these people are fucking assholes, and I don't want to give them my money. That's the truth. Because if I really wanted to go get a pedicure, I would. So that's the place that's closest to us. There's a place that's a little bit further out that I could go to, but I don't feel like driving there. So the truth about not getting the pedicure has nothing to do with the $60 or not $60. It's the closest location are dickheads, and I'm not going to go there, and I don't want to drive the rest of the way. So being truthful with yourself, being honest with yourself is extremely important. So with that being said, what's something that you love to do, that you do all the time, that you're not doing because you need to save the money? One of the things you'll never see is me take my nails off because I don't have the money. I will only ever take my nails off if they're annoying me and I'm sick of them. I'll only ever take my nails off if I think I have a fungus or something. But I'll never take my nails off because of finances. Because when I do that, I anchor in my mind every time I see my hands that I don't have money. I'm broke. And so because I know that the only reason why I would ever take my nails off, or I used to take my nails off, I should say, was because I didn't have the money. And then I made a pact with myself. I'll always get my nails done because when I look down at my hands, I can go, see, at least it's not that bad. Right? But if there's no nails there and I took them off because I didn't have money, I'm like, see, you're broke as fuck. You failed. Right? Blah, blah, blah. And so I still do the things. You still do the things. You still move forward. And listen, let me also state, the level of money doesn't matter. You could be making $50,000 a month. And I promise you, your problems with money just are bigger. You have more people to fucking pay, more shit to fucking pay for. Your bills are higher, your outgoes higher. You owe the IRS more money. So people think that more money is the solution. If I had more money, then I would be okay. If I had more money, then this would be solved. It's not. More money, Jay-Z Or is it Puff Daddy? Whose song is Mo Money, More Problems? I'm pretty sure it's Jay-Z. My husband would kill me if I didn't know this answer. And so that's the truth, you guys. Like, it's not really more money, more problems. It's just more money is more money to fucking manage. Where it goes, what you do with it, how it works. And you can take this from me. And so I want you to know that more money is not your answer. It's your mindset about money that is your answer. How you live with money every single day, how you think about money every single day is your answer. If you need to sell this because you need to make, if you need to get people in this program because you must make this money, if you need to get rid of this so that you can have the money for, the chances of you succeeding are slim to none. Because anything that you need at those levels, like, eludes you, like it avoids you, right? And so you don't want to do that. I knew for a fact that I could liquidate my LuLaRoe and have enough money for California. So guess what's happening? I'm liquidating my LuLaRoe and have enough money for California. But if I would have said, I must liquidate this LuLaRoe, I need to liquidate this LuLaRoe, and I felt it like in the pit of my stomach, and the sickness and the stress and the overwhelm and the frustration, it wouldn't work. Like, it wouldn't work at all. So you have to be very, very, very careful. Okay, so let's talk about that, Rebecca. So you used to easily cover it with confidence and knowing that the money would always be there, right? So let me ask you that. You're going to absolutely tell me yes. And you used to be able to cover it because you had the security in where the money was coming from. And more than likely that was a job, right? You're going to tell me yes. You can go ahead and answer these questions, but I already know you're going to tell me yes. And now something has shifted. A job has been lost. You've quit a job. Life has changed. There has been some sort of event that has happened to where that money that was so secure that gave you that security is gone. And so now that the job is gone and that security and the money is gone, now you believe you're insecure and being able to confidently pay the things you need to pay. Here's the thing. It's not about the job that paid the bills. It was about your, like, unequivocal belief that the security in that job was going to pay your bills. So all you have to do is create an environment in your life where you feel secure and the money will come. And that's the thing. You think you need money, but you don't. You need security. You need to believe that in what you're doing, no matter what, it's going to take care of you. And the fact that you don't believe that what you're doing is going to take care of you, and that you have the mindset that we don't have enough, I'm stressed about it, I don't have enough, I used to, it's not even working, and it used to be, this isn't going to work, I don't know what we're going to do, right? You're sitting there, you're looking at the bills, you're feeling those feelings. Of course you're never going to make rent. And I can promise you, with every penny I make, you'll never make it. Unless you find security in what you're doing. You have to believe that the efforts that you're making every single day and what you're doing every single day will take care of you no matter what. What's happening is you're making the efforts and then doubting the result because you believe there's a security in having a job, right? And there's no such thing. There's no such thing as security in a job. Because you can't go into a job and turn $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in cash in the next 24 to 48 hours. You can't do that. You have to go there, you have to give them your time, you have to give them your life, and you have to expect them to pay you. You can walk up to the door any day, and they can have a sign on the door that says they're no longer here. You could be fired, he could be fired any day, and there's no longer a job. So until you find security in not having a job and not having that money, you will always believe that you don't have enough. Let me tell you a little secret about me. I find so much fear in having a job that I will do anything it takes to succeed in what I do. When I think of having a job, I feel trapped. I feel scared. I feel forced. I'm back to scared again. I feel a loss. I literally know that if my husband or I were to go get a job, it would be like grieving the death of somebody I love greatly. And it would take me like a chunk of time to adjust. Do I believe I would adjust? Yes. Do I believe that I would ever find security in a job? Hell no. Nope. I have more security in my ability and my brains and what I do and belief in myself and my husband in our life than I ever will in working for somebody else on the capacity of go to work, get paid, leave. That's just not me. And so because I hold so much faith in the security of me owning my own business and Daniel owning his own business and the brilliance of my mind, I will always make it not having a job. And I can promise you that if either of us did have a job, we would probably be broke as fuck. We would never have enough because I don't find security in that. See what I'm saying? Until my mind shifted to finding security in that. And in my heart, I don't believe I ever would. Because even though I had a great job, I wasn't fired. I left that job to start my own business and to build my own business. I look back and I don't know. It's hard to explain for me and my heart. Going back there and having somebody have that control over me and my life, I could never do. I know my husband could do it and he would have faith that the checks would always come and he has all of these skills. I'm a badass salesperson, so if I did have a job, I'd probably make multiple six figures a year going to work for somebody else in the sales field, you know, with him and construction and all he knows how to do and the military and all the things, he would make close to six figures a year. So the amount of money that we would make in that world would be a fuck ton, right? The thing is the life that we want to lead and where we want to be and the security and my core desired feelings that I have on the wall, they're not tied to working for somebody else. These are all the things that are tied to my success. And so I'm explaining all this to you because the only reason why you're struggling is because of what you believe. That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why you're struggling. Is because of what you believe. Where you associate security. And every single one of you that have a job or has a husband that has a job, you better not believe that you're taken care of because of your job. You better not believe that because it's not true. The only person who's taken care of at your company is the person who owns it. Because they're the ones that can lay off and offset their income and their security based on who works for them. True story. So unless you're an independent contractor, which gives you a little bit more leeway, right? If you're an independent contractor, you have a lot more leeway in controlling your income, your time, and your money. But if you're like a W-2'd employee, your partner is a W-2'd employee, until you reassociate where your security is, like Tara's saying, you'll be trapped. And I know it sounds really fucked up. Like, so does she not believe in working for somebody else? Fuck no, I don't. I believe in building your own empire, right? Unless you're an independent contractor, because as an independent contractor, it's your own book of business under somebody else's umbrella, right? And so that's a little bit different. There was something else that I was going to say right there that I feel like is really important. Oh, so there's the false security in having a job. And yeah, Chanel, it will. There's false security in having a job. And then there's also, this is where why people aren't successful in business. Because constantly, my clients are always going, I just want to make enough money to replace my job and then I'll quit. Right? So I've watched this happen in a couple of different ways. Their rat race is over here in their business doing their best to keep up with their job, right? And it never works. So then one day something happens and their health or whatever, they're like, I've got to quit my job. I've got to move on. And either they figure out how to build this business, hire a coach, whatever, in order to be successful and they build it big, or they fail miserably and they get another job. Generally, they fail miserably and they get another job because the security in their mind is in the job and their like fear and all of that is in the not having a job. Like all of their negative energy is and negative belief systems, negative BS, as Anthony Robbins calls it, is in the business. it must fail. And all of their positiveness, all of their security, all of their belief, all of their everything is in working for somebody else. So any one of you guys that have that like bullshit mentality that, you know, you're going to build your business up and build it big enough so that you can quit your job, it's never going to happen because you see security in your job. You believe that you must stay there because of the money that you make, because of the fucking benefits. All of that stuff is bullshit. When I ask people how much money they want to make in their business in order to replace their income, but they need to replace their income at their job, they always tell me this dumb ass answer. Usually it's 2 or 3 times more money that they need to make in their business in order to quit their job. That's so fucking stupid. You actually need to make less money in your business in order to quit your job. Not 2 or 3 times more. But your mentality is, my business must prove to me 2 or 3 times more than the amount that what I make at my job before I would ever leave this place of security and this trappedness and all of the fucking shit that I have over here. Why? If you have a job making $100,000 a year, you're taxed at 25 to 30%, which means you bring in 75 to 70,000. 70 to 75,000 is what you bring home every single year in that job, which means that your business needs to make probably $65,000 or $60,000 a year because you're not driving, you're not putting the wear and tear on the car, you're not eating out for lunches all the time. Hello, but people will come to me and be like, "Oh my God, I make so much money in my job. I make like $70,000 a year. So in order to quit my job, I would need to make $150,000 in my business." You're a fucking idiot, and I'm telling you this right now. You're a fucking idiot. No, you don't. The money needs to be less. Because everything is different in your business. And that might piss some of you guys off. And I'm happy to piss you off. Hopefully you'll leave because I called you an idiot. Because this isn't the place for you. This is the place to invoke major change. And this all goes back to money. Wherever you see security, that's how your money will flow to you. Or elude you. It just depends on how you think of it. And I see security in owning my own business. So even in moving, shifting from this world to this world, following my dreams of being a life coach and the angel healing and the things that light me up, do you know that my business has always paid my bills? It has always paid my bills. In even this crazy fucking transition of everything, my bills are paid. Nothing is late. The most important things are taken care of. Why? Because I believe in the security of my business. And I fear the security or lack thereof of getting a job. I don't want my kids in public school, but I don't have the patience to homeschool them. My husband homeschools them. Anthony Robbins says, it's pain versus pleasure, right? The pain of my household going to get a job is way more than the pain of doing the damn work to build the business, right? I find way more pleasure in us doing the work to build the business than I ever will find working for somebody else. Not to mention that I'm a Taurus and I can't stand authority, so that affects me not wanting to have a job as well. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be told to show up at a certain time. I don't want to be, I don't want to be told those things. And so that affects me as well. Why are you doing this? I need to message Daniel. I need him to pick me up food. Anyways, I guess my computer's going to be an asshole. Do you guys get what I'm saying here, though? Your money mindset is everything. So what you attach security to is what will be your life. And so if you're struggling to find a good job, if you're struggling to make... Sorry, I just got a phone call. Struggling to make the money that you need to make. If you're struggling to succeed in the place where you find security, then you don't have the money. You have to believe that it's going to bring it to you. So if you find security in a job, but you're constantly basically talking shit to that security, why would it bring you money? For me, if I find security in my businesses, if I'm constantly talking shit and I'm not believing that what I'm doing is going to get me there and I'm spiraling down or out of control, where I find security in is never going to bring me the security because I'm treating it like shit. It's like being married to somebody. If you're constantly telling them that they're a fucking piece of shit and that they're worthless and they can't do any good, eventually they're going to fucking leave you. And the quality of the relationship between the two of you is always going to suck because of what's being said, right? Because of, you know, what's happening. And so that's my whole point. Do you guys have any questions about what I'm saying here? I know you guys are like staring at my hand, but I need my husband to get me my stuff. Starbucks and my McDonald's order, please. Oh my gosh. My Mac is an idiot sometimes. Just so you know. This is what I do on a live. I ask my husband to bring me food. Okay, I'm back. Who would do that? Me, because I'm helping you, but I need my shit brought to me. Okay. So yeah, that's how I look at money. That's where I find my security. That's why I'm always successful. That's why I always rise above. That's why I've never held back, held down, get into a depression, stopped. Why I don't quit, because I know that if I believe in myself, if I believe in my business, if I believe in my tuition, I will be led to what I need to succeed. I know that if I believe that my business will always reward me way more than working for somebody else, it will. If I believe that my business is what gives me the freedom to go on a vacation every other month, go on a love getaway every other month in between the vacation months, and that my business gives me the freedom to be, do, have anything I want, anytime I want, then it will. And if you tie all of those things, which you can't, but if you tie all of those things to a job, then that must be so. Like, you can't tie going on vacation every other month to a job. It doesn't give you the freedom. So there's like a barrier to that. It doesn't give you the freedom to do that. You know, you can't tie being able to be, do, have, and go anywhere you want, whenever you want to a job, because you can't. You're tied down. And so I know for sure that there's specific things that my business gives me, businesses, if you will, give me, that a job never will be able to give me. So, and that's what makes the hustle and the efforts and all of that worth it. And so it's not to say that there's not bad days and that there's not hard times. I still keep my money mindset the right way. If I'm doing bills and I'm short, I focus on what I can pay, right? If I'm, you know, there's like 17 things I want to shop for on Amazon, I focus on what I can shop for. What is it that I really want? Are all these 17 things stuff that I truly want, or is there really only like 6 that I truly want and the other 11 just sound like a good idea? You know? That sort of thing. That way it's not like, oh, you can't get the other 11 things because you can't afford it. It's like, well, the other 11 things doesn't really make sense. These are the 6 things that you really want, so just buy those, right? And so what this also does is makes it to where when you are making that over, that like shit ton of money, that you don't buy all 17 things. You still go at it with that same mentality. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? Just because you can doesn't mean that you're going to use the other 11 things or that they're really that important anyways. So all of that is just, you know, me sharing from my heart how I look at money and how I think of things and, you know, how I've readjusted. I absolutely love the journey that I'm on right now, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. You know, if my bank account was still sitting with $75,000 in it every single month, I wouldn't be this conscious, and I wouldn't have the money mindset training that I have. And it's very, very crazy because when I was making that kind of money, I didn't have the money mindset that I needed. However, I had the belief that the money would be there, and it was. So I still had the belief that I would make whatever goal money that I wanted to make. And so it showed up. But because I didn't have the money mindset, like my coach says, if you don't have that mindset, you're not going to keep it anyways. It doesn't matter where it comes from. So with that, I'm going to jump off and get my journal juice and hang out with my family and enjoy my day off. But I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you loved it. If you loved this video, be sure to share it out with people because it does have a lot of great, you know, content and information and food for thought for people who are struggling financially right now, or really not struggling financially, but that's just how they view it. yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And as I always say, remember to live the life you love and plus build, you deserve to live the life you love, plus build a profit-filled empire, unapologetically authentic. Boom, my mind just kicked in. You're so welcome, Chanel. Bye, guys.